support each other, if you weren't laying on each other to begin with. A movie was playing on the large TV that settled on the credenza in front of you. Smiles and giggles of light banter would come from you guys from every now and then. About halfway into the movie, you found yourself playing with Todoroki's hair, a soft smile creeping on your face as you felt the soft A soft smile crept on your lips as you felt the soft touches of his hair. For a boy who is half cold, half hot, his head was exceedingly warm, or at least to the normal temp of the room. You couldn't help but try putting it into 2 pigtails with the 2 hair ties that always remained on your wrists. He only looked up and smiled at you, impressed with the fact that you could still be so childish, but so cute all at the same time. A light pink blush dusted his cheeks, as you no longer seemed to pay attention to the movie, but just to try to get his stupid hair to stay in straight. Shoto's older sister, however, Fumi, giggled and covered her mouth to add her whisper-like screams of excitement and wide smile at the adorable sight in front of her. However, she was only getting the backside of it, only seeing your heads and hearing the soft banter you guys would have every now and then, as she poked her head from the kitchen doorway. "Baby?" Shoto spoke in a soft, almost tired voice. Your attention, however, was stuck on his hair, as always. You found yourself always drawn to the bicolored of his eyes and hair. You seemed to really like it. It helped you give more design for your characters, for your quirk was a drawing-related quirk. What you could do was you could take different splats of paint, and sadly paint only, and bring it to life. It could shape into anything you thought of, but you'd have to hold the image in your head. If not, it would turn into a mindless blob of whatever color paint you had chosen. This came in helpful when it came to offensive combat, but defensive, not as much. You'd have to keep your concentration on any object you focused on, and if you were to lose it at all, it would melt into a still alive, but kinda odd-looking slime creature, like the ones you'd see on a game. You and Shoto would constantly joke about how it was kind of like you were creating the half-spawns in a video game, like slimes or smaller villains to attack and gain XP. "Your name," he spoke again, slightly louder as to get your attention. This action worked as your head met down and looked at his eyes. You smiled softly as you hummed in response. This resulted in a smile and a peck on the forehead from him as he began to get up. "I have to run to the restroom. I shouldn't be too long, though," he said, as he began to wrap the remains of the blanket that he had left around you, as a small smile rested on your face. "You better not be too long. I'll get bored," you said, a slight playful smile on your lips, as he pecked your nose and walked off. You hid your blushing mess of a face in the blanket as you tried to steady your racing heart. You'd been watching a lot of anime in order to try to get up courage to actually start flirting. It worked sometimes, but other times you end up a stuttering mess. Even though none of you have had much experience when it came to relationships, you found it that he would most likely be the one flirting. While stuck in your thoughts of the past, you heard a loud, thunderous sound of a door being slammed against the wall and shut against its hinges. Soon after, it was followed by an all too familiar, yet sadly you wish you could forget, voice. Shoto! You heard as the voice echoed throughout the halls. Yay, look who decided to come home. Fucking prick. You grumbled in your mind as you tried to focus on the movie in front of you. However, it was quite hard with the sound of thunderous footsteps rummaging around the house. Soon after about 5 to 10 minutes, you heard the sounds of the thunderous footsteps slowly make its way to the kitchen, which grabbed your attention. Where the hell is Shoto? Roared Endeavour, only to look down at a neutral-looking Fumi. Shoto is in the bathroom and will return shortly, she said in a calm yet blunt tone. He hummed in response as he was about to walk out of the room and into the main room, only to be stopped by the sound of speaking and slight fighting from the living room. He left the TV on, he thought aloud as he made his way to the door, only to be stopped by Fumi's voice. Oh yes, your name is over in the living room at the moment. What? Suddenly, the door that led into the room that you lay dormant in, hoping that he wouldn't enter, suddenly slammed open. You heard it fall off its hinges. All you did was sigh softly as you kept your head faced to the TV. Endeavour stomped over to you, looming over with his signature scowl and bright, firing beard. Who in the hell gave you permission to be here? He yelled at you as you gave him an unamused, almost bored-looking expression. Well, Shoto gave me permission to come in here in exchange for him permission to come into my home. You answered, rolling your eyes slightly as you could have almost seen smoke coming from his ears, like you did in the cartoons you and him would watch. Suddenly, you heard quick yet lighter footsteps make their way from downstairs and into the living room. Yes, Father? What is it that you need? He was slightly out of breath, but his voice was as emotionless as ever. Shoto, why did you let this piece of trash into the house? He demanded as something in you snapped. Shoto's face turned in one of shocked and then agitation. Right as he was about to speak his mind, you looked up at him and snapped. Says the flaming piece of trash in front of me. You hissed as you glared at the fiery man. Some soft giggles could be heard in the kitchen while Shoto was fighting not to break face, laughter slowly bubbling in his throat. Endeavour, on the other hand, growled and glared at you. Who do you think you're talking to, trash? He yelled. His words echoed not just through the walls of the house, but the walls in your mind as well. A cocky smile soon crossed your lips as you looked directly into his eyes and never broke it. The fireball that wears the shittiest dad in known history award like a damn trophy. You spat at him before looking at Shoto and began to get up from your spot on the couch. Come on, Sho. We can go watch movies at my place. However, you were cut off by Endeavour gripping at the collar of your shirt and lifting her up back to meet his eye level. You let out a small yelp as Shoto got into that of a defensive position, ice creeping around his face as fire slowly began to spark from his hair. Father, what are you doing? Put her down! He raised his voice to give more meaning and depth to it. I'm going to put this piece of trash in her place. Endeavour says as he throws you to the wall, your head colliding harshly against the against the hard concrete surface as you slumped to the ground. There was a stain of blood from where your head had collided, as it trailed down to me where your head now rested. Both Endeavour and Shoto's eyes widened. "Your name! What the hell have you done?" Shoto yells as his voice slightly breaks as he shoves past his shooken father to cradle you in his arms. "I heard a loud sound. What happened?" Fumi was cut off at the sight of your half-unconscious form in her brother's arms. Her own gasp caught in her throat. She knew that her father was excessive, but she never expected anyone to go that far. "You call yourself a hero, but look what you have done!" Shoto yells as he picks you up and looks at his sister. "Help me get her to a hospital," he says in a shaking voice as Fumi nods, running to the other room to get her shoes on as Shoto ran out of the house with you in his arms, followed by his sister, leaving a wide-eyed Endeavour filled with pain and regret. This is the end of part 1, and yes, I know the actual audio that I got this from was longer, but I wanted to make this into a 2-part thing because I had my own little idea of what I could do. But anyway, I hope you enjoy, and yes, there were parts where I had to stop because I either had to stutter or I kind of tripped up. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed, and if you do, consider maybe giving it a like. Who knows, it could inspire me to quickly finish up the second half. Anyway, there's your cup of life for today. Come back tomorrow for your next sip. With sweetest intention.